I think the clarification on nihilism that needs to be made is that even though a person may see that value is assigned, that there is no inherent intrinsic value, meaning there is no objective value in the true sense of the word objective, independent of consciousness. This only being a matter of consciousness, because without consciousness, then to who does this matter? If you're going to say that something has value, then the question always is, to whom? So it's a matter of consciousness. No value independent of consciousness. Nevertheless, within the contextualization of consciousness, there are what you would call objective and subjective values, both of which, subjective and objective, are contrived. They are contrived, but there are still assigned values. Some of them are objective and some of them are subjective. Certain values are going to differ from person to person. Matters of preference. Time spent with my dog is better than putting $1 in the bank. That is an assigned subjective value. But then there is objective value. This is a value that's not going to be different as you go from person to person. Every person's going to feel the same way about it. Absolutely. Without question, without deviation. And yes, a nihilist can recognize this. For a nihilist, all that matters is the quality of consciousness's present moment. Because, by the way, that's all there is. You can moan and reference history all you want. All there is a present moment. Yeah, you can reference history all you want. Maybe it did happen. Maybe it didn't. Nevertheless, in any case, all you have is right now. The past is like some dream that you had a couple of years ago. But then, concerning the now, there are some ethics and morals that do apply to this present moment. And these are not going to deviate from person to person. Such as, no one likes to have their free will violated. Do we? That's certainly not going to change from person to person. Doesn't matter who you ask. No human being appreciates being victimized. That's one that you could say for human beings, yes, it's absolute. Thou shalt not violate another's consent. It's not about preventing harm, it's not about preventing suffering. Because there are people out there that like and prefer to suffer. There are some that find suffering downright pleasurable. But everybody has a line that if you cross it, they're going to feel violated. Everyone has that line. Anybody that says that that's not a feature of their being is a hardcore stoic. You might as well rename yourself Jesus Christ. If there's no line that another can't cross that'll piss you off, if you just cannot be victimized in any way, yeah, you're Jesus Christ. So yeah, a nihilist can recognize that there are certain contextualized objective values. So I don't know why nihilism keeps getting demonized. And you know that's what's happening. No one's got nothing nice to say about it. I mean, mostly, absolutely nobody. They all got bad things to say. Yeah, nihilism, ooh, it's the ultimate badass. It's the worst of the worst. Even anti-natalists frown and wag their finger in righteous indignation at the big bad nihilism. So apparently this is as bad as it gets. This is rock bottom the worst. And yet, in truth, it's not even the case. All the psychopaths that are out there right now running amok, wreaking havoc on the world, you think any of them are nihilist? Not a one is nihilist. They're all value junkies, and meaning junkies, and purpose junkies. People that value so much, it's greed. A game of attachments, of possession. A nihilist simply can't be that. This is the antithesis of a nihilist. And it's not that nihilists don't care. Nihilists don't want to see anybody suffer. If someone is suffering, that means they are in pain, unwanted pain in the present moment. If someone's consent is being violated in the present moment, that isn't right. If someone's free will is being violated, that isn't right. It is a contextualized, assigned, objective value. Nihilists are not the ones out there right now causing all the trouble. It's the ones that are so impassioned that are the problem, and they're facilitators. So yeah, that's why I felt the clarification should be made. Because you need to stop it already. Because everybody, no one's got nothing nice to say about nihilism. It's the big boogeyman. I guess we have the Big Lebowski to thank for that. That's what your average Joe thinks of nihilism, what they show in that movie. And even among the 1%, and not that 1%, I mean another 1%, the 1% of the people in the world who are deep thinkers, even among those people, nihilism is demonized. So it's demonized by, Joe Sixpack and your deep thinkers. Everybody. Yeah, nihilism is a fascinating subject. Now that I've had some time to think about it and reflect on it, it's a subject that I might delve into in depth. But yeah, there's no way around it. Value is assigned. Meaning is assigned. Purpose is assigned. These transactions take place in a context where there is no distinction. It can't even be called a context. They are put on rafts in nothingness and erected and propped up, but they don't exist outside of the one that's propping them up. Even if all the ones that are propping up all agree. So stop saying that nihilists are not doing anything because they don't care, because nothing matters, because these things don't have objective meaning or value, that a nihilist just says, it's not my problem. That's not really what's going on, and that's not the problem in the world. And that's not how a nihilist reacts anyway. A nihilist can certainly recognize that there is objectivity concerning morals in a contextualization. An existential existence does have some objective world ethics. Thou shalt not violate anyone else's consent, and no one shall violate your consent. It's better than the golden rule. Because the golden rule is thou do to others as you'd want them to do to yourself, but not everyone would want the same things that you would do to yourself done to them. So better to say, do not victimize anyone. Anything further than that, ask permission. And the fact that there is no morals or values independent of consciousness, the one that assigns it, the one that could be subjective or objective, nihilists are not using that as an excuse to go out and be immoral. It's the impassioned ones that are doing that. And they're enablers. And they're the ones that are also ignoring it, not nihilists. And I would almost argue that it's atheists and theists that are the problems. The theists make problems and the atheists ignore the problems. Or they make money on the problems. They're in business together, making profit on problems for people that are really impassioned about God or money. Yeah, and let's not gloss over that an atheist is first and foremost a materialist. And what is a materialist? Value. Cash. Above all else, profit. Morality is decided upon what is profitable and not profitable. Whereas in theism, what's good and bad is what God says so. Dogma brain. Nihilism just says, look, values are assigned. And everybody gets all up in arms because it's not following the ground rules. Atheists and theists follow the ground rules. Nihilists acknowledges that the ground rules are contrived. But that doesn't mean that you ignore what's wrong or you use that as an excuse to go out and do wrong. So think that over. Everyone really needs to get this straight. Because nihilism is just used as a scapegoat.